Having frontline's super important. If you don't have tanks, you pretty much can't team fight after the first 20 minutes or so.
You can get away without having a front line, but the issue with that is if you get hard engaged on or if you get flanked, you just lose the fight instantly.
It's a lot easier to team fight with a front line because you have a front line and back line. It's much more defined, but when you don't have a front line, it can be really blurred. Who stands in front, who's kiting.
So if you want to protect the AD carry, then yeah, I think or protect the mid laner and AD carry, then yeah, having a front line is important. But if you feel like you need to do a dive comp, then then you're just gonna have Fiora or like Jax, and it's not as important.
Having a front line is really important in most cases. Like, you can sometimes play around it.
But it depends on the team, and right now frontlining is really important due to tanks being so strong.
Having a front line is really important because if the enemy front line is stronger than your front line and the carries are like equally as strong, then if your front line is dying faster than theirs, then they're gonna get to the carries faster. So you have to always try to have the better team fighting and better front lines so you can get out ahead.
If you have a better backline that can deal more damage than theirs, then having a playing good front line is more beneficial.
I think the importance of having a front line is depending on whether your backline is actually stronger than their backline. So for example, like, let's say you have a hard-hitting champion like Caitlyn and gets to like 3-4 items, then technically you should just peel for Caitlyn and have a really good front line that can either just soak up damage, so Caitlyn kills their tanks faster, or you have a front line to just stall for them, kind of like Alistair before, and your enemy team just kills their backline.
I think it clearly depends on meta. In this case, there are a lot of champions, like Vladimir and Swain. In this case, frontline is very, very important because, you put frontliners in mid. But as the meta shifts, so people are going to start picking champions that are good into these, Vladimir and Swains, and then the meta is going to shift. So it all depends on the meta.
The importance of having a front line, no importance because tank sucks.